Questions without notice. I call the Honourable the Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My questions to the Prime Minister. I refer the Prime Minister to his election promise to visit East Arnhem Land in the first week as Prime Minister. Given that Rio Tinto will close the alumina refinery by the middle of the year and the Prime Minister's commitment today to improve indigenous employment, why hasn't the Prime Minister been to Gove, and what is his plan to help 1,200 people losing their jobs there?
I call the Honourable the Prime Minister.
Well, I shouldn't blame the Leader of the Opposition for the construction that he put on the statement I made at the Garma Festival last year, because some people did put that construction on it. But what I actually said, Madam Speaker, what I actually said.
We'll have silence. Be quiet. On my left.
What I actually said, Madam Speaker, was that the first remote community that I would visit and stay in as Prime Minister would be a community in East Arnhem Land, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I will spend a week in East Arnhem Land later in this year. I will spend a week in East Arnhem Land later in the year. It will be the first remote Indigenous community that I visit in this way as Prime Minister. I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm very, very much looking forward to it because, amongst many other things, Galarrwuy Yunupingu has been one of the fathers of Indigenous advancement in this country, and I was particularly honoured that he was so keen up at the Garma Festival that East Arnhem Land should be the first Indigenous community that I volunteer in as Prime Minister. As for the refinery at Gove, well, Madam Speaker, like the Leader of the Opposition, I deeply regret the decision that Rio Tinto have made to close that refinery. They have made that decision because the refinery is uneconomic. They have made a commitment that the Indigenous workers will all be found work in the mine that will remain open and operational. My understanding is that they are hoping to provide alternative employment to all of their other workers at the refinery. And without wishing to be too partisan about this, but given that the Leader of the Opposition has chosen to raise it in this way, if the Leader of the Opposition was as concerned as I believe he is, he might have a word to his senators about passing the carbon tax repeal legislation. Everything that makes up the living cultures, the oldest living cultures in our world, in our universe. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do, Galarrwuy. And why not, if you will permit me? Why shouldn't I, if you will permit me, spend my first week as Prime Minister, should that happen, on your country? Now, I know there will be people who say, "You're Prime Minister. You can't do that. You're goofing off. You're not doing your job." But the fact is, if these places are homes to the first Australians, why shouldn't they be home, even if only for a few days, to the Prime Minister of our country?